Hello and welcome back to the March to Independence. I'm your host, Steve Friedman, parent, author, and advocate. And today we stand in front of one of our local schools to talk about continuing education. And when we talk about education, we often talk about school-aged children. So what are they doing in elementary school and middle school and high school to prepare themselves for the world, life skills and so forth. We have discussions around ARDS and inclusion, but that's not actually the topic that I wanted to share with you today. What I wanted to share with you today was what happens after they turn 18 or to 22. When they finish high school, what happens next? And this is a really big challenge and opportunity for those in the Down syndrome community. School is not just up to high school age. It is so important that we think about learning and education afterwards. Many parents will talk about the cliff that happens when they're 18 to 22. Suddenly, their children who have spent the majority of their waking hours, 8 to 9 months out of the year, in a building like this, end up coming home. They come home, oftentimes they stay on the couch, and they plateau and they regress. And so our challenge is to continue education, to avoid those plateaus, but actually continue that strong runway forward on the learning curve for our adults with Down syndrome. So I'll throw out a couple of words that I just wanted to define for you. Plateau. So we've all had plateaus where we just get kind of bored doing the same old thing, so it doesn't seem like we have the energy level, it doesn't seem like we're really motivated to do new things, and we're generally not learning as much when we're in this plateau stage. Our children go through that same plateau, oftentimes because they're doing the same thing over and over, whether it's at school or at home, and whether it's initially challenging or not. So part of our challenge is to avoid that plateau by continuing to give them opportunities to learn and grow. The alternative to learning and growing is what Dr. Brian Chacon calls regression syndrome. This is where children or adults actually not only stop learning and progressing and growing, but they actually lose some of the skills that they worked so hard to establish in the first place. And so studies have shown that in certain circumstances, people can regress. They can lose their ability for social skills, reading and writing, because they haven't really been challenged to continue those and to learn more. And so part of our challenge as parents and caregivers is to make sure that as our children turn into adults and leave the high school scene, that they have mechanisms to continue to keep them challenged. So I'd like to talk about 3 different mechanisms for continuing education beyond high school. First are inclusive college programs. There are a number of inclusive college programs in the country these days that didn't exist just a few years or a decade ago, but they are all over the country, and many of them are just fabulous. They give adults with Down syndrome and other special needs the opportunity to learn and grow in an environment that's very inclusive. They're there, they live on campus, they have people that help them and support them, but they're taking classes, they're doing social and extracurricular activities like every other student, and they're learning life skills and trade skills that will enable them to go off and get jobs after their years of college. The second opportunity for continuing education are what we call day programs. There is a wide variety of day programs out there, and as you might expect, that variety includes some that I would term as good and challenging and others that are not. So on one end of the spectrum, you have day programs that are really more like babysitting. They take care of your child for 5-7 hours a day. They put them in a room and a long table with arts and crafts. Sometimes there's not anybody there to really challenge them or to give them a variety during the day, so plateauing is easy, and it's just not a stimulating environment. They're not learning, they're just being babysat. Another option there's many programs out there where there's a lot of activities and there's a lot of work activities. So some of these day programs are associated with businesses that employ or utilize your adults with special needs to do certain activities, whether it's making something, servicing at a coffee shop, building something, and this can be a great skill and trait for them to learn. However, you also have to be careful that these are not hard labor places where they have quotas and basically all they're doing is working and working hard and sometimes not even getting paid for it. So while I think that work is a key part of their growth, we need to be very careful to make sure it's the right type of day program and a well-balanced day program. And balance is really the key. When you're looking at day programs, look for ones that are balanced. They provide you with educational opportunities, so loved ones will continue to learn, whether that's life skills, social skills, academic skills, math, and so forth. Also, more independent skills, being able to get out of the house and learn about the community, being able to go grocery shopping, taking public transportation, finding jobs. All these sort of skills should be part of a really good day program. And so look for that day program. Again, in the resources we're going to talk about at the end, there's a lot of information in the book and on the website about how you can utilize a step-by-step process to find the best day programs around. The third option is what I would call homeschooling. So when our kids were in elementary or middle or high school, we knew homeschooling as they stay at home and we, the parents, are generally the teacher of those academics. And homeschooling in the case of continuing ed is not that much different. So they stay at home, and it is really our obligation as parents or caregivers to provide them with challenge and opportunities and variety. So learning about life skills, learning about the community, going to a museum. So it's not about staying home and sitting on the couch, and it's not about just going on errands with mom and dad. It's about going to a variety of places that continue to spark their energy and enthusiasm and help them to learn so that they can be independent adults as they move forward. So homeschooling in that context can be very vibrant. Homeschooling in the context of just staying at home and really losing some of the skills that they built up is the hazard. So you need to make sure you're aware of which one you're up for. There are certainly some parents that are great homeschoolers and look at this as an opportunity to continue to bond with their adult in their adult years. Other people honestly would say homeschooling is not for me, it's never been for me. I might work during the day, or I don't have the patience to do that all day long. And so recognizing where your forte is will help you make a decision. But I would encourage you to make that decision. Choose either quality day programs, inclusive college programs, or some other mechanism around a homeschooling opportunity in order to continue to stimulate your child and give them the opportunities to continue to grow in the future. If you're looking for more information, again, there are 3 options for you. You can check out our website at beyonddownsyndrome.net, and there we have lots of information, articles, and resources available to you for free. We also have a worksheet that's there for free, which you can download, you can adapt, save, send, and it's a great way to document your independence plan, help you make decisions on a step-by-step basis, and so I'd encourage you to take that step now. The second option is to continue to join us for the Road to Independence video series. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. There's more interesting topics to come, including housing and work and inclusion and communication. So, and you can also check out the previous episodes as well. Third option is to check out our book, The Essential Guide for Families with Down Syndrome, Plans and Actions for Independence at Every Stage of Life. This book is packed with information. It also has a lot of stories, so you can connect with a lot of the other families that have shared their stories, their challenges and struggles, but also their triumphs that are extremely inspiring and beautiful. And also has lots of information supported by experts in the fields of financial, legal, health, and so forth. So check out the Essential Guide as well on your journey. And I look forward to seeing you at the next video on our March to Independence. Thanks.